Hi, welcome to our show, The Leading Force. I'm Sunil Hali, host for this show. This show is all about the South Asian organizations that have been doing extraordinary work for the last 3 to 4 decades, actually bringing us a lot of pride as fellow community persons in North America. US is certainly the number one country when it comes to giving, whether it is care, medical, technology, or even food. US is always there for whether it's a third world country or a developing country or even in crisis for a first world country with their hands open to help it out. Indians have been in this country for the last 3 to 4 decades, growing by almost 1 million every decade. And Indians have done truly extraordinarily well in every space of life. And today Indians are considered to be also one of the most wealthiest community. They say that you can take an Indian out of India, but not India out of an Indian's heart. Indians care about their motherland. One such extraordinary organization that was born in 1982 when only 40 members got together and thought of doing something extraordinary with a small goal. Whatever extra, whatever little there is as a waste in this country, let's give it out to people who may not even have that much. And they obviously chose their own motherland and the poorest of the poor in our country back home from 1982, giving small things so that those guys could get and share it. Yes, that's how Share and Care was born. As the name suggests, it was all about sharing and caring. And today with us, we have some of the people who founded this organization and the ones that are taking it forward. We have with us today the leading force that has made their focus children of the underprivileged and women, mostly the downtrodden or the poorest one. We have with us Mr. Jayant Shroff. He has been there from, I think, beginning.
Yes.
Jayant is a trustee and member of management committee for 28 years of an in-depth experience to manage actually the most difficult task of a 501(c), a non-profit organization. And then we have Jayu Parikh. She is also a trustee and member of Share and Care Project Committee. She works on specific projects.
Right.
And of course, the younger generation, Shruti Devi, a member of Marketing Committee and to educate the Graduate Committee.
Program, right?
Welcome to our show.
Thank you.
We are
Thank
proud to have you here today. And through the 3 sessions, we will unfold the magic of Share and Care. Of course, Jayant bhai, the first question comes to you as your mission says, to enhance the quality of lives of the underprivileged women and children by supporting programs in the fields of primary health care and education. How did this whole idea come to you in 1982 when you guys were still trying to find your roots in this country?
Thank you, Sunilji. I want to talk about first how we started and then get to this idea. This idea came about in 2007 with all the experience we had for 25 years. But like you said, we started with using the West in this country to help the people in India. So it was used clothes, medical equipment and all that. And quickly 5 years when we started gathering sufficient funds, we started educating children because UN has come up with some data which we knew a long time ago. UN says that there is only one country in the world which has 25 to 33% of the population below the age of 25. And out of that, those 400 million people below the age of 25, 80% live in villages. So 320 million students or children live in villages. They don't have good schools. They don't have any facilities. So that was the crust of our work. And over the years, we found out that, Gandhiji used to say that if you educate a woman, you are educating the whole family. And you educate a man, you are educating one person. And we learned that with a hard experience of 25 years. Because whenever we went to India, we found that the children who are doing well in school, their mothers were educated. Because in the formative years, the students or children were looking at the mother as a role model and not the father. So this youth development and women's empowerment program born out of this concept. We said we should take care of the mothers of children, so then the whole generation will change. So that's how we started. And one more thing I want to say about Sharon Care is our value proposition is such that we start when the kids are 3 years old and we take them all the way through till they become economically independent and good citizens of India.
That's fantastic, and we'll obviously touch those portions, how you accomplish
Right.
that task.
Thank you.
So basically, such a nice, noble idea. If you train the mother, I think the family will be good.
Right.
I think mother makes a family, as you
Right,
are saying in
right.
other words. What a noble idea, I think. I'll have to make sure I pamper my wife when I go home.
The mother is always a teacher.
Yes, I agree with you, and that's how
The
I think
first
Sharon
teacher.
Care is focusing on the women.
First teacher is the mother.
Now, in your thought process, you say Sharon Care is constantly looking for spare time, talent, little bit of training to share. Is it only the spare time, or you're also looking at some people who will dedicate their time voluntarily and they create a spare time for it?
I think you are correct. We are looking to people who would create spare time for Sharon Care with some dedication. And so, because without dedication, this doesn't happen. Even if I'm not trying to pat my back, but when I look back, it shows how much we have done, like 6, 10, 15 people, how much we have done. We are 40 of us, but a lot of people are very busy, so they can't spend as much time. But I would say a core group of 12 to 15 people have done so much. Like, if I can quote some statistics, we have provided $65 million worth of help to India, just a small group. We have run 700 programs in 30 years, 29 years. 700 programs, and we have worked with 400 NGOs, and these are spread all over India. They are not in Gujarat, Maharashtra, or on west coast of India. We have been to West Bengal, Andhra Pradesh, and I would say Nagaland is one place I don't remember we did any project, but most of the places we have done projects.
Jain bhai, we'll touch again that point, but touching the point you just made, the kind of money, $65 million is, even if you were to bring that money forward to today's time, it will probably be crossing $250 million,
Yes.
because this is over a span of last
Yes.
Right.
30, 37,
Yes.
38 years. Or 28 years.
28 years.
And on top of that, you're a not-for-profit organization. It's not an easy thing to generate that kind of
Right,
money. Just tell us about the challenges you guys faced. You know, today it may be easier because we are clearly the wealthiest community and willing to
Yes.
give. How did you manage?
We face a lot of challenges, but one of the trump card our organization have is a passion. So I would just talk about some people and myself and my wife. All dinner conversations we have are all about Sharon Care, and they're not about asking money to people. Yesterday I got an email saying, how do you collect this money? You should train some other people. I said, everybody has the same information as I have, and when I go to somebody, I'm not going there to get the money. My initial intent is not to get the money. I start some conversation which is connected to what we are talking about. I tell stories to people, and when they get interested, I tell them, how about $10,000? It will educate 1,000 children or whatever comes to my mind. But I'm a storyteller. I tell story. When I write articles, I say I'm telling story to people who are willing to read. So challenges are there. You know, last year we thought, oh, America is going through so much economic challenge and all that. How are we going to collect the money? So I was in one meeting and I said, you know, I just read in the paper that Americans, not government, Americans have given $300 billion to the world in help. So we can't collect $1 million? So that's the attitude which allows us to do some work and bring money in. And I have to say that our friends are very generous with us. They believe in us. So we have some first 100 or 200 people. All we have to do is call them and say, this is the fundraising, send us a check for $1,000 or $5,000 or whatever.
Jain bhai, when you look at an organization of the kind you're talking about, Share and Care, which is not just friends or the people you know, you have almost 12,000 supporters.
Right.
And obviously, that's not just a phone call to generate money.
Yes.
I'm sure there
Right.
is a bigger organization
Right.
behind it.
Right.
What is this huge organization that really moves it? I know you guys are the movers, the shakers in the front
Yeah.
with a vision. Surely behind that, to maintain a 501(c) of this size and work in India and different parts of the country, it's not easy.
See, these younger philanthropists are looking for a couple of things. One is how their money is spent. So they are looking at a performance of an NGO. And in last 5 years, we have demonstrated how our performance is. What do we do with our money? And with little money, how we have stretched so much and how we have educated so many people and all, that's one thing. Second thing is our overheads. We try to keep our overheads low.
Yeah, I
Very
believe you are
low.
a 100% volunteer organization.
Yes, yes. We have a couple of people who work in the office,
Which is
but
the
compared
administrative
to what
staff.
we do,
But there's
yeah.
no picnics and high
No.
urgency-based
No.
conferences.
And I have to say about our volunteers, it is not just giving 100% volunteers. 30% up till now, 30% of our total contribution was coming from 40 of us. So, and
It's like a leading by personal
yes,
example.
by example, and many of us who travel to India to monitor projects and all that, we are not looking for any money. We spend our own money.
And I believe you guys stay and live with your friends and family.
Right. One of the things I would say that I have gained more from Share and Care than I have offered to Share and Care. And if people look at that, they would be willing to work for Share and Care. What I say is, it has brought us so much humility in our life. We appreciate everything we have. We are very cautious of how we spend the money. It is not a matter of having the money or what you can afford and what you can't afford.
It's a judicious
Yes,
way of spending
yes.
it.
If I have never have a tea in Samyana in Taj because it is 350 cup tea, 350 rupees tea. And I can't do that because I always think, what could I do with 350 rupees? And I can feed a child for a whole year. And that doesn't mean that even if we spend all our money, we can't help everybody. So it isn't that, but it brings you a perspective of what we are all about.
Is that why you say, when you say in your brief that Share and Care has participated in many issues to rebuild lives in rural communities where government and even big NGOs have not been able to reach out? Is that the reason that you guys are so modest and so cautious, and many of the NGOs are sometimes ostentatious and
Yes.
they're not really as concerned?
Absolutely. Our initial goal was to bring up the organizations which are very small, give them seed money. And they are not big organizations that MacArthur Foundation would know about them or UNICEF would know about them. But I would say almost that we have a knack of identifying dedicated people. So I would say at least 40 or 50 organizations we know today, we raised them from their childhood. And they are doing fantastic work. Now everybody knows them. UNESCO gives them money, and MacArthur Foundation and Ford and everybody. But that is our pride. We have raised some organizations from their childhood, and those are the people we have helped with seed money. And some organizations, maybe we gave them $10,000. Not a lot of money, but they have done a great job.
So there is a very cautious way of spending money. That is the backbone, and sometimes even NGOs are not that cautious. Hold your thought. We'll come back after the break, and then we'll also speak to Jay and Shruti, and one more time again to you after this break. Stay right there. We'll be back right after this break. Thank you.